Student. Sakshi, please raise your hand if I am audible. Sakshi. Salil, please raise your hand if I am audible. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you are. Good morning once again. And today we will do our next topic of software engineering, that is SDLC. SDLC stands for Software Development Life Cycle. Okay. And in our previous lecture, we studied what is software engineering means. Okay, and the evolution of software engineering and how the software crises are there. That concept we have studied in our previous lecture. But now we will go for our main topic, that is SDLC, that is how to develop your software, and that is done by a simple life cycle. There are different phases in your software development life cycle that we will study in our topic. First of all, objective of this topic is, after going through this unit, we will be able to gain an understanding of how to develop a software, okay, while going through a life cycle. There are different phases in your life cycle. According to that phases, we will perform our software development. Then various phases in software development are there. Okay, that is make a cycle. That phase is make a cycle. I will show you a diagram. That will that concept will explain you how we will make any type of software, or this SDLC model will be usable in your daily life. Okay, if you want to do any type of work, you have to perform some planning. Okay, then you will collect your requirements. Then you will design a simple model. Okay, that is related to your daily life, and that a concept of software development is also related to a life cycle, that is your SDLC, software development life cycle. Next is to understand and the need for each phase in development. Okay, there are different phases. There are total 6 phases in your SDLC. What does each phase means? Okay, like I'm saying that first of all we have to plan. If we want to do any type of work in a daily life, okay, if we want to go to somewhere, then we have to plan for that. Okay, to go to your trip or to any else location. First of all, you have to make a plan. Then you have to decide. Then you have to gather your requirements, whether that location is okay to visit or not. And all these concept is related to with your life cycle. Okay, and same to develop your software, we will go through the life cycle, and that life cycle is called your SDLC, that is software development life cycle. And further, it is used to develop your own software by understanding various LDSC approaches, and there are further, in a tradition, these concepts are used to develop different models, and there are different common models that we will study in our software engineering. There are waterfall model, there is an incremental model, there is a prototype model, there is an evolutionary model. Okay, and the model that we have studied in our previous lecture, that is agile software development. Agile. This is the latest technique to develop your software. These are the objective. After go through this concept, we will perform these steps. We will develop a software. Okay, using a life cycle models. Then introduction to your software development life cycle is SDLC stands for software development life cycle, and it is a systematic process for building your software. This is a systematic way to develop your softwares, and that also ensures, if you are using a proper life cycle, that ensures that you are building a quality and effective software. Okay, quality and correctness is here. If there is a correctness in your software, then your product is the product I am talking. That product is your software, and that product is your effective product. And if we are using a proper models, proper life cycle, then it ensures your quality. Okay, if we put develop any type of product without any planning, without any creating of design, and without testing that product, means that product will be your a faulty product. Okay, that will be a faulty product in some time or after a year. That product will be in a crisis. Okay, so that your product should be a quality product, you should go for your SDLC life cycle, that is software development. And SDLC is a framework that defines tasks performed at each step. Okay, there are different tasks, and that tasks are called phases. Okay, while we are performing the practical, I have explained that there are task men. Task column is there. That task column is represented as a name. Okay, and that task we have to perform, and that are the phases also. You can say task as a phases or stages. Okay, and that tasks are divided between different users. That is your developing team. Okay, team members. Okay. This framework that defines that task performed at each step in the software development process. Okay, there are different tasks. There are planning, that is a task. There is a analysis, that is also a task. There is a design phase, that is also a task. Then there is a coding, that also a task. And these are the tasks are distributed to different developers. Okay. Then the SDLC defines a methodology for improving the quality of software and the overall development of your process. If you are using a life cycle to develop your software, then your product should or it is in a quality. Okay. And here is a SDLC phases, and that phase I will explain you while trying that on a board. Okay, your concept is your SDLC, and it stands for Software Development Life Cycle. Okay, Software development means we are developing a software, and for that we will go through a life cycle. That is, cycle is there, and in that life cycle to develop your software, we will go for a first phase, and that phase is your planning. Okay. If I am a team developer or a team member or a manager, means I am a manager, okay. For that, if I want to develop any type of software, I will plan that software. Okay, I will ask a user as a requirement, and in your SDLC model, there are two persons. Okay, first person is your user. Okay, first person is your user, and second person is your developer. And I am writing here. It is developer. Okay, these are the two persons, or you can say that this is the manager. Okay. Manager or a developer or a team leader. Okay. I will ask as a team leader, I will ask from a user what his requirement is. Okay. What his requirement is from a user. Okay. A user will tell me his requirement. Okay. User will tell me his or her requirement. As a developer leader or a manager, I will note that requirement. Okay. And then I will go for a planning. Okay. The first phase in your SDLC is planning. Okay. I will plan with my team member, with my higher authority members. Okay. I will plan for that product that user wants. Okay. I will ask the requirements from the user, and on that requirement, I will plan for a product. And this is the first phase in your software development lifecycle that we should, as a team developer, we should go for a plan. Okay, next phase is your analysis. Okay, next phase is your analysis. Means if there is a user requirement, okay, I will talk with my team members or my higher authorities as a manager that we have to develop the product according to user requirement. Okay, there are some points that we will develop. Okay, there are some requirement from the user that will be developed, and further there are some requirement that cannot be fulfilled. Okay, then after planning that all the requirements that can be fulfilled or that cannot be fulfilled, we will then analyze that. Okay, we will analyze that requirements. This is the second phase. Then after completing this analysis, okay, that is done by all your team members, manager or a developer. Then I will go for a third phase. Okay, that all done by your manager or a team member or a software developer. Okay, third phase is your design. Then as a software developer, I will create a design. Okay, this is your design phase. Then there is a fourth phase, that is your coding. Okay, after making a design, that is a model or a prototype. Okay, then I will go for a coding. Okay, coding means implementation is there. Then after coding, there should be a testing. Okay, this is your fifth phase in your life cycle. That is your testing. Okay, while you are performing coding or you have done your implementation or coding, then we will test that code. Okay, if there is any error that can be checked, There can be, if we will put extra load on your coding, your software will accept that load or not. That all done in your testing phase. Okay, there is different type of testing, that is your alpha testing, beta testing, acceptance testing is there, unit testing is there. Okay, integration testing is there, and that all testing techniques are performed in your this phase, that is your fifth phase of your life cycle. And next phase is your maintenance. Maintenance. And that is again connected to a plan. This is your sixth phase. Means after performing testing, you will deploy that product. Here you will deploy. Deploy. Okay, deploy means you will hand over that product to your user. Okay, after testing, if there is your testing performed okay, the successful testing is done on your product, then you have to deploy that product. Means you have to hand over that product to your user, and the user will use that product, and you have to maintain that product time to time. After a year, after a 6 months, you have to maintain that product. Okay, like example of your antivirus. Okay, antivirus is a product. The company of antivirus, that is a vast, is have a planning to develop a product, and they are have a planning to make that software. Then they go for analysis. Okay, after analysis, they make a design of that product. Okay, then they making a code of that. Then they have testing. Then after testing, they have to launch that product, and then the user will use that product. And if there is a maintenance or there is an update and there is an addition, features are added, that comes under your maintenance phase. Okay, maintenance, this is your last phase. Then again, next planning, what will be the next product, what should be the modification in previous product, that all comes in your planning. This is the complete life cycle of your STLs. First phase is planning, then it is analysis, then it is design, then coding, then testing, and last is maintenance. Okay, then again, next is your plan. Okay, and there is a note in that, and this is the important point, that maintenance phase will take more effort. Okay, this phase, maintenance phase, will take your more effort, because if you have made a product and deployed that product to a user, and user is using that product, and after a week or after a 2 week, user give his or her new requirement. Okay, user will give his or her new requirement to the developer. Okay, then again, software developer have to maintain that according to user requirement. They have to make that product. So maintenance phase will take more effort according to further these. Okay, and there is a question will be asked, which phase will take more effort, and that is your maintenance phase. Okay, this is your complete life cycle, started from your planning, then analysis, then design, then coding, after that testing, and last is your maintenance. And again, there is a mod. If you want to modify your product, then again make a plan, then again go for analysis, then again make a design of that modification part, then code that part, test that part, and again deploy that product, and again there are maintenance. Okay, these are your different phases in your life cycle, that is software development life cycle. And all these phases are used in your further SDLC model. Okay, and that model we will study. They are common models. That is, first one is your waterfall model. Waterfall model. Okay, then there is a prototype model. Prototype model. Then there is a evolutionary model. Okay, Then there is your first one is your waterfall model, prototype model, evolutionary model, and next is your spiral model. Okay, these are the common models. According to these models, we will develop our software. We will use any type of these models. If your product is small, okay, if the software that we want to develop is small, we will go for a waterfall model. Okay, if it is a toy-like model or throwaway model, means if that software will be used for 2 or 3 years, then we will go for a prototype model. And this prototype model is also called as throwaway model, and this prototype model is also called as throwaway or toy model. Okay. Then evolutionary model is there, and this model is also called incremental model. Means first of all we will make a small product. Okay, we will develop a small software, then using that software we will again develop uh, using that software means reuse of code is there. That software code is used in a further increment product, and we will go for another product. Then again we will use previous code and modify that product. This is your incremental product. Means you will increment your product from your initial step to further a large product. Okay. This is your increment. Means we are incrementing a product. First of all, small product is made using that code. Another modification is made on that. Okay. Again, using a previous code, we will again modify that. Okay. This is your increment. Further, there is a spiral model. Okay. Spiral model is like a spiral structure. Spiral model is like a spiral model. Okay. In this, your model is like a spiral. Okay. This is your spiral structure, and there are further different quadrants are there, and each quadrant have a different functionality. Okay. This is your first cycle from this position to this position. This is your first cycle. Okay, from this position to this position is your first cycle. The cycle we have studied in a previous lesson, that is your SDLC. And in this life cycle, each phase will be used. That is, planning is there, okay, analysis is there, then design should be there. This is your phase. Then again, next cycle. Okay, then again, next cycle. And this model is also called iterative model. Okay, iteration is going on. Okay, iteration is going on. That is your spiral model is also a iteration model. And this is also called a meta model. Meta model that we will study in our next concept. That spiral model is also called as a meta model. Okay, it is also iterative. Why it is called iterative? Because the every life cycle is repeating again and again. From this position to this, there is the first life cycle. From this position to again this position, there is a second life cycle. From this position to this, there is a third life cycle. Okay, that we will study in the complete explanation. What does a spiral model mean? But they all model their spiral model, evolutionary model, your waterfall model, all goes through a SDLC life cycle. Hope you will be understand all these concept of different SDLC model and what does SDLC means. Okay. Okay, here are the different phases of your SDLC. That is, first phase is your planning phase, this one. Second phase is your analysis phase. Okay. Third phase is your design phase. Then fourth phase is your development phase. And next is your testing and integration. Testing and integration means testing where we will perform our testing in the different means. It is unit testing is there, it is integration testing, and last there is a system testing. Means in unit testing means single module will be tested first. Then integration, combine that modules, different modules, then test. After that, all the system, your complete system will be tested. That is called your system testing. And further, there are different techniques. There is a white box testing. There is a black box testing. Alpha testing is there. Beta testing is there. There are different techniques, okay, to test a different type of products. Then last phase is your maintenance, and this phase will take your more effort. Okay, regarding to your further previous phases. Okay. Then we will go step by step. That is first phase. What does this means? First phase is your planning phase, and the planning phase will determine project goal. Okay, that will determine your project goal. What the customer wants. Okay, what the customer need is. According to that, we will fulfill that goal. Okay, that is your done in your planning phase. That is the planning will determine project goals. Means the customer need should be fulfilled. That is our objective and that is our goal. As a project developer or as a software developer. Okay. And establish a high level planning for the intended project. Okay. For that, we will go for a high level plan. Okay. And this will done by a software developer and developing team and the higher authorities of a software developer or experts person. Okay, those who have experience in the software development. Okay, that members also include. Planning is a fundamental and critical organizational phase. Okay, planning is your fundamental and critical phase. For your software development, you should make a plan. Okay, then go for our next phase. Okay. The three primary activities involved in your planning phase are as follows. And first is your identification of the system for development. Okay. Means that we are capable to develop that software or not. That should be in the planning phase. That identification of the system. Your systems or your resources can make that product or not. That is you needed by a user. Okay, that is identification of system for it. This your whole system can develop that product or not. Feasibility is there. Okay, next in your planning phase, feasibility assessment is there. Feasibility means that we are feasible to develop that product or not. There is a proper financial aspects are there in our organization. Financial aspects means we are physically in a financial concept or not. Okay, that is a feasibility assessment. Then creation of a project plan. Okay. Proper project plan should be created to go for a further phase. First of all, you should have a proper project plan. Okay, proper steps should be there. Okay, then go for a next phase, and that phase is your analysis phase. Means your analysis phase completely dependent on your planning phase. If your planning is accurate, okay, your planning is good, it is feasible, then go for analysis phase. Means your analysis is completely dependent on planning phase. Then in analysis phase, the analysis phase is the time to evaluate and take a deep into your information collected in the planning stage. Okay. Analysis can be done on your information that is collected in your planning stage. Okay. And that information is from your experts, means your software experts, from a team members, okay, and the requirement from a user. Okay, if it is proper, if you have proper information from a user and a proper planning to develop that product, then there should be a proper analysis on that. Okay. It is also optimal for surfacing and evaluating new information and preparing a contributor for the design phase. Okay. And what does this line mean? Means if you are performing a proper analysis on that, you are analyzing your product, then your design phase means your next phase is dependent on your analysis. Then you will develop a design if your analysis is good. And your analysis should be good when your planning is good. Okay. If you have proper planning, then you can go for a good analysis. If your analysis is good, then the product design should be good. Okay. That this line being it also optimal for surfacing and evaluating new information and preparing a contributor for the design. Okay. By providing a knowledge, techniques, and guide. Okay. Knowledge we will gain from our experts. As a team manager, I will gain a knowledge from my experts. Okay. From my head. Okay. And I will provide a different techniques to my team members. As a team developer, as a team leader, I will provide a different techniques to my team members. And I will guide them. And that all come in your analysis phase. Okay. Knowledge will be gained from experts. Technique, if I have a experience, I will know different technologies to develop a software. Okay. And I will guide my team members if I am a team leader. Okay. I have an experience. And that all done in your analysis phase. And after completing analysis phase, next phase is your design phase. Okay. In design phase, we will make a different models. Okay, different models. A structure is there. Structure, architecture. Okay. Example is while you want to construct your house, you will go for first phase is you will plan. Okay. If you want to construct a bungalow or a house or a home, a beautiful home, then first of all you will plan your house location. That location should be there. Your house should be look like this, and in house you should have 3 or 4 rooms, then attached bathroom. That all is your planning. Okay. After planning, you will give your these planning and suggest with your architecture. Okay. You will talk to communicate with your architecture, and you will give your requirements to his or her that architecture, and he will note down your requirements, and according to that he will go for a design. Okay. Go for a architecture of your house. Okay. That all done in your design phase, and this design phase all dependent on your previous two phases. Okay. The design phase allows engineers and designers to use the information sourced from the previous stages. Okay, previous stages is your analysis phase and planning phase. To architect and design solution at a technical level. Okay, means if you have a proper analysis from your planning phases, then the design should be a proper design. And according to your requirement, according to the analysis of an architecture, he will make a proper design and with the technical level, with the new technologies. Okay. And the output of this phase and your output of your design phase is according to your house architect, he will give you a map. map or a paper on which he will draw the architecture. And this, your house will look like this, and your room is the dimension should be this one, and your bathroom will be attached with your each bedroom, and kitchen will be look like this, and that all is your design. Okay, the same way in your software development, there is a design phase, and in your design phase, your output should be your design should be like your DFD. DFD stands for data flow diagram. Okay, here is your DFD, and this is the output. Okay, if your planning is your analysis is good, then you go for a design phase. And in design phase, we will develop DFDs, that is data flow diagram. We will perform this practical in a practical concept. What is DFDs? Okay, then there are UML. UML is your unified modeling language. And in this, we will also make a graphical representations. Pictures should be developed. How your project will work. That should be shown in a graphical way. Okay. And that all done by your concept of DFD. DFD is your data flow diagram. How your data will, okay, your module will work. From one module to second module, all these modules are interconnected with each other. And that will be shown as a graphical. Okay. And that graphically representation is categorized as a different name. That is first is DFD, that is data flow diagram. Second is UML, unified modeling, and your logical coding diagram should be there. And that logical coding diagram is also called as blueprints, like your home architecture. Your home architecture is your blueprint. Okay, with enough detail to enable engineer to build the system. Okay. From this design, now we will go for a next phase, and that next phase is your coding. Okay, in your software development, the after your design phase is your coding phase, and this phase is also called as your implementation phase or development phase. Okay, coding phase is also called as implementation phase or development phase. The code is written during this phase, and the code will be in your different languages. It can be in C language, it can be in C++ language, okay, it can be in Python, Java. The programming language should be used to code your product. Okay, the code is written during this phase or this stage. Engineer can benefit from a specific code level accessibility techniques and the ability to quick test, fail, and reset code against a required asset. Means in your implementation phase or in your coding phase, we will make a code according to a design. Okay, according to a design, and that design is your different modules are made. Okay, different models are made. According to design, we will develop a code. Okay, then after developing a code, we will go for a testing, and we will check that that module will be work properly or not. If it is failed, okay, while testing, then we will have to again develop that code or change our design. Okay, or we have to change that design if our code will not work according to that design. Okay, that the life cycle experience. Next is your testing. If your coding is okay, you have developed or you have implement your code according to the design phase. Then next phase is your testing phase. Okay. Once code has been written and is ready for integration, integration means the testing technique is there. That is your integration testing. If it is written properly, then go for a testing phase and it undergoes your testing, defines acceptance criteria. Okay, that will check whether your product is okay or it is according to a design, and that all check in your testing phase. In the accessible SDLC, you must integrate a new accessibility policy for code acceptance. Okay. Yeah, explain that in your SDLC, there is a different acceptance code are there, different policies are there to accept your code. Okay, and that acceptance criteria are your different testing techniques. Like I have given a name that there is a alpha testing. Okay, there are beta testing, there are acceptances. You have seen in some of the software there they have written a beta product in some applications or the name given to that application that that product is a beta product. Okay, like Avast beta. Okay, your PUBG beta, PUBG application with the name PUBG, they are joining a name that is beta. Okay, means that product is going through a beta test. If it is alpha, means the experts or a team developer, expert team developer have checked that product, tested that product. Okay, experienced person test your product. If they are checked and it is okay, then the mark that given to it is alpha tested. Okay, if it is checked by your friendly customers or your friendly developers, then it is given a name that is it is a beta testing. Okay, if it is checked by a customer and feedback is given by a customer, then it is called as a acceptance testing. Okay, alpha testing is there, beta testing is there, acceptance testing is there. Okay, we will go for these testing in our third or fourth chapter is there, and that all according to your testing process. Okay, what are the different testing techniques are there? This is your fifth phase. Then your next phase is your maintenance phase. This is the last phase in your SDLC life cycle. Application and website rarely remain static. Okay, here means your application, if you have developed your application, okay, using this life cycle or a website, if I have made any type of website or any type of web application, they are saying that they are rarely remain static without any change, without any modification. It is not possible. Okay, after few time or few years we have to maintain that product, maintain that application, maintain a website, or if customer wants new features, then again we will go for a maintenance. Means we will add, as a team developer I have to add more features in it according to environment, according to customer need. Okay, that's is the this point says applications or your website, these are your software product. Okay, are rarely remain static without any change. Okay, but we have to change our product according to our environment or technology. Content producer and author add new text, new images, new pages. Content producer means software developer. Software developer or author had to add more text, more features, more images, or more pages in their web applications or in a simple desktop application so that they can fulfill the requirement of the customer. Okay, then engineer continue to ship and layer in a new functionality feature. Okay, then engineer or a software developer have to add more functionalities, more features in their product. Okay. Next is ensuring these modifications do not diminish the site accessibility in the last critical step to the accessible SDLC. Okay, and this will go further up to a maximum limit maximum year. Okay, that is this should not be diminished. You have to make different features, add that feature in your previous software. Okay, like you are using your Android are giving you a latest version after few time or after a few months. Okay, so that user will enjoy that product. Okay, user want new features. Okay, like in your WhatsApp, previously it is there is only voice call is there. but customer wants video call. WhatsApp added that feature in it. Now customer wants a payment module. WhatsApp organization, your Facebook, that is a product of Facebook. Facebook added that feature in it. Okay, that is all according to a customer need. Okay, and these all products are 12 according to your SDLC, that is software development. Okay, all phases are used in your further different models. Okay, the model name I suggest you, that is your, there are different SDLC model, that is your waterfall model, prototype model, incremental model, spiral model, and agile. Okay, what does SDLC models are? To help understand and implement the SDLC phases. Okay, phases or stages are your planning, design, analysis, design, then coding, then testing, and last is your meeting. That are the SDLC phases. Various SDLC models have been created by a software development experts, universities, and a standard organization. Okay, these all models are developed by your experts persons, your different universities. Okay, research are performed on these models, and there are further standard organizations are there. And the name of that models that are made or developed by a different experts are, first is waterfall. Okay, waterfall. The name is your waterfall. It's look like a waterfall. Okay, there are different phases. The same phases are used in your SDS. Okay, that all phases are also using these common models. Okay. We will study that. First one name is your waterfall model. And there are further, this waterfall model is further categorized into two parts. There is a classical waterfall model and iterative waterfall model. Okay, if you will see any time these approaches in your books or on internet, there are different types of waterfall model. First waterfall model is classical waterfall model. It is also called as traditional waterfall model. Tradition. Okay. And second waterfall model is your iterative. Okay, iterative means we will go backward. If we are developing a product in your simple traditional waterfall model, we will not go to a back phase. Okay, we will not backtrack our previous phase. That is, if we are performing a testing, we will not go to a coding phase. If we are performing a coding, we will not go to a design phase. That is backtrack. Okay, will not do any type of backtrack in a classical waterfall. But in a iterative waterfall model, in iterative, we will do that. We can backtrack, okay, to our previous stage. That is the difference between classical waterfall model and your iterative. Okay, waterfall model have a different approaches. That is classical and your iterative. But there is a second model, that is prototype. Prototype is also called as throwaway or toy model. Okay. Okay, this type of model will not use for a longer time. Okay, you have to throw that product. Okay, that is why it is called prototype. Okay, use that product for a limited time, then throw that product. Okay, and it is throwaway or it is called toy model. Then there is a third model, that is incremental model. Okay, you have to make a product according to customer need, then again increment that product, then again increment that product. Okay, like your WhatsApp. WhatsApp is using a concept of incremental. First of all, they have given your simple chat feature. Then they have added with the chat a voice call is there. Then they have added a video call also. Okay, means they are incrementing that product. Then they have added a payment module also. Okay, they are incrementing that product. And incremental model is also called as evolutionary model. Okay, started only from a chat module, added a voice call also, then added video call also, then added a payment module also. Okay, this is a increment process. and that process, that model that is used is here incremental or also called as evolutionary. And next is your spiral model. Okay, spiral concept is there. Okay, it is also called as a meta model. Okay, iteration is going on in this model, but it is not called as a iteration model. Okay, it is a spiral model, but concept of iteration is okay. And last is your agile, that is the latest technology used to develop a software. Agile. Okay, that concept we have studied in the previous lecture. There are different approaches in your agile, that is Scrum, XP, okay, feature driven. That is the concept of your agile software. Then next is your reason for using SDLC. Why we use this SDLC? First is your provide basis for project planning, estimating, and scheduling. Okay, to develop your product or to develop any type of product, first of all, we will have a basic knowledge. Okay, we have to plan, then make an estimate of that product that we are going to develop. That can be feasible for us or feasible for the user. Okay, and proper scheduling should be there. Okay, scheduling, that is your proper task should be distributed between the different team members. Okay, that is job scheduling. You have studied the concept in your operating system, that is job scheduling. Okay, the same way your task should be scheduled. Okay, between the different users, oh sorry, user, not user, between the different developers. Okay, that is the concept of scheduling. And they will be provided with the different resources. Okay, that is your first reason why we will use SDLC model for planning or estimating and proper scheduling. Then provide framework for standard set of terminologies, activities, and deliverables. Okay. If we are using proper SDLC model, then there should be a proper standard. Proper terminology should be used. Okay, how to develop a design. Okay, there are different concept to develop a design. That is DFD should be there. UML should be there. Okay, that are all the your terminologies are used. Activities are there. Proper components should be used, and then deliverable concept should be there. You have to deliver that product on time. Okay, that standard should be maintained. Then next is provide mechanism for project tracking and control. Okay, in your SDLC, there should be a proper tracking. The example is like your if you are ordering any your shoes or any type of product from online shopping application like Myntra, you will track your product. Okay, the feature provided by this is your online application. Okay, that software providing you that feature. Proper tracking you can maintain. Okay, control that product. You can refund your money. That all is used and all that concept will be done if you are using a proper model. That proper model is your proper SDLC. Okay. Last is your increasing visibility for project progress to all stakeholders. Okay. If you are using a proper model, means you should go in a proper progress. Project progress should be according to your stakeholders. If there is proper tracking, proper control, proper deliverable concepts are there, stakeholder will be satisfied. Okay, because you are giving all that features that stakeholders need. Okay, as a user, we are using online application and they are giving each and every feature. You can search your product according to name, according to cost. Okay, and payment can be done online, can be on cash on delivery or through UPI. Okay, you can track your product. That all features are provided by a software organizations. Okay, if these features are given by these developers or these organizations, stakeholders are the users. Okay, that are using that product. Okay. If they are satisfied, means your product is successful. It is okay. It is efficient. Okay. That's all the reason why we will use SDLC models. Okay. Planning should be proper, standards should be used, tracking of your mechanism should be there. Okay. Then advantage of choosing an appropriate SDLC. Okay. What are the advantages if we choose proper SDLC models? Okay. First advantage is increased development speed. If we will go for different SDLC model, if we will develop a small project, we will use waterfall model. Okay. If we want to use a increment model or a evolutionary model, then your product should be a large code. Okay. If you are using your previous code, then you will go for your incremental model or evolutionary model. Okay. If you want your product should be a proper testing should be done in each and every phase. Okay. Testing should be done in each and every phase, then go for a spiral model. And that they have a different advantages. First advantage is increased development speed. Okay. Next is increased product quality, improved tracking and control, improved client relation. Okay. If you are using your different model, like I am using agile software development technique, then I have to communicate with the frequent communication should be there between a developer and a user. Okay, that is improved quality relation. Sorry, client relation. Developer and client relation should be good. Okay, what client want? Developer should fulfill that requirement according to user. Okay, according to client, and here client is your user. Okay, your customer. Decreased project risk. If you are using proper SDLC model, it will reduce your risk. Okay. Decreased project management overhead. Okay. If you are using proper models, it will reduce the overhead of your management. Okay. That's all in your SDLC, that is software development life cycle. Okay. And further, we will go for next concept, that is your SDLC models, and we will study different models, that is waterfall model, your incremental model, your RAID model. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask me. I will. Next is your next concept is your SDLC model. Okay. Okay. Next concept is SDLC model. Uh, Before going to this, uh, there is a concept that is a software engineering, and we had go through this definition what the software engineering means, and it is related to your SDLC also. And in your SDLC, the software engineering is a process of analyzing user need. Okay, analyzing user need, and before analyzing, you should go for a planning. Okay, you means we are the developers. Okay, as a developer, we will go for a planning according to customer need. Then on planning, we will analyze a user needs. Okay, then go for a designing, then go for a developing, and then testing, and then deploy your product. These are your phases in your software engineering, and this is steps in your life cycle that you should be go through all these steps or phases. And user application that will satisfy the user need through the use of software programming language. Okay. And in your software engineering, we will use different SDLCs, and we will use a different programming language to fulfill the requirement of a user. Okay, and further there are different process model. There are different SDLC models, and they are categorized into different types. And there are perspective process models. Okay. Perspective process models are there. Further, there are evolutionary process models are there, and there are special process models are there. Okay, we will study one by one. First is your perspective means. What does perspective means? A prospective process model. A prospective process model is model that describes how to do according to customer software processes. Okay. Perspective is how to do. Okay. Means how to build the software. And further, a perspective model describes how a new software system should be developed. Okay. How your new software product should be developed. That a perspective model will be explained. Perspective models are used as a guideline or a framework. Okay, perspective model uses guidelines or a framework to organize and structure how software development activities should be done. Okay. How you will perform, you will develop your software. Guidelines should be there, proper guidelines, proper framework should be there. Okay, to develop the product. Next, there are three types of perspective models. Okay, the name that are perspective models are your waterfall model, your incremental process model, okay, and there is a different model that is a rate that is stand for rapid application model. Okay. These are the traditional models that are used to develop a software. Waterfall model, increment process model, and rate. What does waterfall model is? The waterfall model is also called as a linear sequential model. Okay, linear means it will go step by step. First phase will be completed, then second phase will be done, then second will be completed, then go for a third phase. Means the all phases are dependent on your previous phases. Okay, planning will not be done before a proper communication or proper planning is there. Awesome. The proper requirement is there. Planning will be done only if there is a proper requirement gathering is there, proper communication is there, then go for a plan. And after planning, you will go for a modeling. Okay, modeling means designing. Then go for a construction, that is coding. Okay, then deploy your product. Okay. That a waterfall model explains. The waterfall model is also called a linear sequential model or classic life cycle model. Okay. Classic life cycle. And in your waterfall model, each phase is fully completed before the beginning of the next one. Okay, here it is. The line is you're fully completed before means each phase is fully completed before your beginning phase is complete. You can go for your planning before your communication is completed. You will go for your modeling if your planning is completed. You will go for a construction if your modeling phase is complete. Then go for a next one because this phase are dependent. Next phase is completely dependent on your previous phase. Okay. This model is used for small project. This is the main point. Waterfall model is your traditional model, and now a time it is only used for your small projects. In this model, feedback is taken after each phase. In this, feedback is taken after each phase to ensure that project is in on the right path. Feedback is taken after each phase in your waterfall model, and this is done in your iteration mode, not in a classical mode. Okay, the point says feedback is taken after each phase, and this is done in your iteration waterfall model, but not in the classical waterfall. Note that point. Okay. Here is in your waterfall model delivery support feedback. Feedback is only taken when you will deploy your product. The user is using your product, then user will give you a feedback. But in your iteration phase, iteration waterfall model, there is a feedback after each phase. After completing each phase, there is a feedback. Only in iteration waterfall, not in the classical waterfall. Testing parts start only after the development is completed. Okay. After your development is completed, then go for a test. Okay. After testing, then deploy your product. Without testing, you will not deploy your product. Okay. This is SDLC's stage. Then second model in your prescriptive process model is your incremental model. Okay. First, we will study these points. What does incremental says? The incremental model combines the element of waterfall model and they are applied in an iterative fashion. Okay. In your incremental model, your waterfall model as well as your iteration concept is used. The first increment in this model is generally a core product. Okay. First, we will develop a core product. Here, increment one is your core product. Deliver that increment. Then, after a few months or a few days, again develop your next increment. Okay, next product. Then again deliver that product. Then go for a next iteration. Okay, that is why it is called, because in this there is sequential process is also there. Okay, sequential is done in your waterfall. Okay, linear sequential model. Linear sequential concept is also using, and that is your blue one is your communication phase, pink one is your planning phase, okay, and orange one is your modeling phase, and purple one is your construction phase, that is your development, and green one is your deployment. Means in this we are using waterfall model also, and also our iteration. Incrementation is also there. Okay, incrementing is also there. First we will deliver first increment, then second increment, then third increment. That is why a name given is incremental process. Okay. Each increment build the product and submit it to the customer for any suggested modification. Okay. What does this line means? Each increment builds the product. Okay. We will, as a developer, we will develop the product, build the product, and without any suggestion, we will deliver to the customer. Okay. Then customer again give their feedback. We will again build that increment and hand over to the customer. Okay. And this is the increment model used. The next increment on the customer suggestion. Okay, next increment should be on the customer suggestion. And add additional requirement in the previous increment. Okay, then we will add the next suggestion from the user to our previous increment. Means we will add features in our previous code and modify that product and give the name it's a second increment. Then in your third increment, we will use our previous two increments, add a modification in that, then again deliver that product to a customer. That's increment model experience. Okay, this process is repeated until the product is finished. Okay, and this will go up to up till the product is not completed. Okay, all the users requirement get fulfilled. Okay, till then you have to develop your product according to incremental process. Example in your incremental product is like your word processing software. Okay, word processing, or you can use your WhatsApp. Okay, that is your incremental. First of all, chat module is added. Then with chat, voice call is added. Then after voice call, video call is added. This is the increment process. Okay, the same way your word processing is. Okay, word processing system, that is your MS Word, they are also using this model also. That is implement model to develop their products. Okay. Then next is your RAD model. RAD stand for Rapid Application Development. Rapid means quickly you have to develop the product and hand over to the user. That is rapid application development. Using the RAD model, that is rapid application development, software product is developed in a short period of time. Okay. The initial activity start with the communication between customer and the developer. Then planning depend upon the initial requirement, and then the requirements are divided into groups. Okay. Initial activities start with the communication only. Only with communication they will start the product. Okay. Then planning depend on the initial requirements. Planning is also depend on the initial requirements only, and then the requirements are divided into groups. Planning is more important to work together on a different way. Okay. So here, what is going on in rapid application? There the task is divided between different teams, where the term one, term two are the different teams. The task is divided. First team completed his task, they will hand over that product or that module to the user. Then again, different module is developed and hand over that. That is a rapid application. Okay. Then they will combine all the modules and make a proper software or a product, and then again hand over that complete product to his user. That is your RAD model used to develop a short period of time software. Okay, the software that is needed in your short time, that product is developed with the concept of the RAD application development. That is rapid application development. Okay, and these products are developed between your 60 to 90 days. Okay, they will take a 60 to 90 days. And further your different type of agile software. Okay, that product you have to deliver within 2 weeks or within a month. Okay, if you are using your agile, and you will frequently connect with your users. Okay, you have to take the feedback from them. That is your latest technology. That is model used for that product to develop is agile. Okay. Then there is second approach, that is in your software, that is evolutionary process. First is perspective, in which there are waterfall model, incremental model, and your RAD model. And now there is an evolutionary process model. And in your evolutionary process model, evolutionary is also a iterative concept. It is also using an iterative concept. Iterative means repetitive. Okay, repetition is there. They are characterized in a manner that enables software engineers to develop increasingly more complete version of the software. Okay, evolutionary means increasingly, and it is also called as an incremental. Okay, incremental model भी हम उसे कह सकते हैं. It is also incremental model or increasingly more completely version model. Okay, and in this there are different models, that is prototype model. Okay, and prototype model is also called as your toy model. Okay. Instead of freezing the requirement before a design or a coding can proceed, a throwaway prototype is built. Throwaway. Okay, toy model that can be through, or you can develop new model for that. That is called a prototype model. That instead of freezing the requirement before a design or a coding can proceed, a throwaway prototype is built. So throwaway model is built to understand the requirement. This prototype is developed based on the currently known requirement. Okay. If the customer is changing his requirement frequently, then go for a prototype model. Okay. Go for a prototype model. That is a cheaper model. Maximum your least effort. Sorry. Your lead effort will be used in developing your product in your prototype. Use and throw. Okay, the product like you want to use and throw, go for which model? Go for a prototype. The software is like you use and you want to use and throw that software, then go for a prototype. Okay. Next is your spiral model. In your spiral model, there are four phases. Okay. The fourth quadrant that I have explained. There are first quadrant, second quadrant, third, and fourth. And that are the phases in your spiral model. In your spiral model, there is a planning, there is a risk analysis, there is a engineering, means coding is there proper, there is a evaluation. Evaluation. Okay. Evaluation is there. Proper checking, proper testing is there. Okay. This is the best approach to develop your product. If you are developing your large product or large software, go for a spiral. Okay, and it is also called as a meta model, META, meta model. Okay, because in this spiral model, in each phase, we will test our product. In each phase, there are four phases. We will test in each phase. Okay, there is planning in first phase, there is risk analysis in first phase, there is engineering in first phase, and there is evaluation. Evaluation is checking is there. Okay, there is evaluation in first phase, and the same way in second phase. Second phase planning is there, risk analysis is there, engineering is there, and evaluation is there. Okay, a software project rapidly passes through these phases in iteration. Okay, and in your spiral, there is also iteration. Repetition is there. Okay, again testing, again planning, again analysis, again your coding, again your evaluation is there. Means this is the best model, and in this model, the risk is less. Okay, if your product is large and you want to use your traditional approach, go for a spiral. Okay, and this model is also called a meta. Then next approach is your specialized process model. Okay, after evolutionary, there is a specialized process model. What a specialized process model is? Specialized process model use many of the characteristics of one or more of the conventional models. Means your traditional model approach will be used in your specialized process model. The conventional model presented so far, however, they tend to be applied when a narrowly defined software engineering approach is used. Okay. If you want to use any narrowly approach for your software development, then go for your specialized software model, and that is your component based development. Okay, component based means you are developing a product only according to components. You are using different components and developing your product. Okay, and that concept for your component based softwares that are under your specialized software, and the name given to a specialized process model is your component based, and that product that only depend on your components, that type of sub product can be developed according to a component based software development. Okay, that is your last concept in your software. We will study this component based software engineering also in unit 4 of your syllabus. Okay, that is dependent on your component based software. Okay, next in is your complete explanation of your soft waterfall. Okay, that is your last concept of your SDLC. That is your, and that we will further study in our next lecture. But I will tell you what are the phases. Okay, we will do this topic in our next lecture. Further in your waterfall model, there are different phases. That is feasibility study is there, requirement analysis is there, designing is there, coding is there, testing is there, maintenance is there. Means we are using all that phases that are used in your SPLC, that is software lifecycle. Means waterfall model is completely dependent on your SDLC. Okay, that is why a simple name is given. That is a waterfall model, and it's look like this. Okay, like your waterfall. First of all, feasibility study is there. Then after feasibility study, you will go for a requirement analysis. Then after requirement analysis, there is a design. Then after design, there is a code. Then testing. Then build. Okay, this is look like your waterfall. Okay, that is why the name given is waterfall. Okay, we will study this topic in our next class. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask. Okay. And I will launch a poll. You have also answered it. First question on your screen is